Happy Friday. It is February 15th. It is the day after Valentine's Day, and I survived. I'm sure it's a little crazy for you and your students on Valentine's Day, but I think the reason why it wasn't so crazy for me because I actually gave a test this week, and it was actually supposed to be scheduled the day previously, but we had a snow day, so everything kind of got pushed back. So I had the test on Valentine's Day, and that was good. I mean, I had a little something to give the kids because I did kind of feel bad. That was not the intention. I actually had a completely different lesson that I wanted to do that was Valentine's Day specific, but it's okay. It is what it is. I had to give the test that day, so it's fine. They did very well. I was very happy with them. To get them ready for the test, we did a bunch of different station activities. So what I did was I set up actually 6 different reactions, and the students were looking at the different reactions. They had to, for some of them, write net ionic equations, obviously, record their observations. Some of them, the reactants weren't given to them, so they had to kind of determine what the reactants would be and then use certain pieces of evidence to help them determine what some of the gases were. So we did, for example, decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. We looked at hydrochloric acid and magnesium, and they tested all of those gases to see what they were. So it was great. It was a really great lab. It really kind of reinforced the different reaction types, and I think the students just did a great job with it. So I think that really helped too with their understanding of the different reaction types. And, it's one thing to talk about reactions and to say this is how you predict products and this is how you get the states of matter, but it's a whole nother thing to actually give the kids a hands-on experience. And so I think the learning stations was very effective. After we finished with that, we then actually started our next it's like a mini unit. I include it in my reactions unit, but it's all about electrochemistry. And to get this unit going, what I did was I started with a do now that has the students look at all different types of circuitry. So, for example, we were looking at, half cells that maybe didn't have a salt bridge, half cells that did. And then we also had just a regular old, single replacement reaction. And so I gave them experimental observations from all of these different types of cells and basically just started with a dialogue. I was able to kind of assess what they know about circuits and completing circuits and things like that, and, about their knowledge of chemical potential energy versus electrical energy. And so I think I would do that again in a heartbeat. I think that really helped me to kind of just clue in on some of the misconceptions that they have. So I think I would do that from now on. Every time I teach this, that's exactly what I would do. And then after that, we talked about how the cells that had the lit light bulb is actually a battery. And so then I transitioned from that do now that we did in that discussion to talking about, here's a part of chemistry that we really take for granted. I mean, this is an amazing part of chemistry that we can just take something and have it be so portable, and we've got energy that we can use to do work for us and to power our electronics. And so we spent time learning about batteries by actually doing a POGIL. So this POGIL I love, and Flynn has a great POGIL book, and it's just really great. And it's really my go-to whenever I'm not really sure what to do, because especially now with the NGSS, all of these activities are aligned to the next generation science standards. So I'll link the Flynn book down below so you can see what I'm talking about. But basically it provides the students with a model. So the model's pretty intense here. There's a lot going on. So I think a best practice with POGIL is have the kids look at the model, not answer questions yet, just look at it, look for patterns, look for things that are similar, look for anything that they can try to make sense of what's going on. But these are great because, like I said, it incorporates a lot of those science and engineering practices and cross-cutting concepts, and so that's why I love them, and the students really love them because it's a lot more interactive. And they always say, wow, the class period goes by so quick when we do these team activities. I'm like, I know, it's crazy, but it's good because they're engaged and they're interested. And, I try to keep things interesting too. So the kids aren't always working at their seats. I like the flexible seating idea. The kids can sit where they want when they work. So some kids choose to sit in the lab area when they work on these. Some kids will sit at their tables. I like that approach where they work where they're comfortable. And then also, I have different roles. So I actually use these role cards and I assign different roles, and every person in the learning team has a role to fulfill. The presenter in particular is the one that I like a lot because often I'll call on the presenters to write some of their answers on the board so we can kind of all come together as a class and discuss. But I have the manager role, I have the presenter role, and then I have the reader role and the recorder role. So I used to only have 3 roles, but then my class sizes got really big. So I had to split up some of the roles, but I really like these 4. I think this is a good balance. That way not all the students are kind of doing all the work. I kind of felt like the reader and recorder was like a lot, to do at once. So because the reader is reading like everything. So the recorder is the person that I collect their paper, or I'll like check their paper at a stop sign. Manager is cool because the manager is this is the only person that can actually communicate questions with me. I like this because so often when I would do POGIL in the past, the students would try to still go to me for help. And, I'm totally willing to help students, of course, but usually just by vocalizing their question, it can be easily answered, and it starts a conversation with their peers, which I think is really the whole point of POGIL, in that, these kids may not ever study chemistry again, but at the very least, you're helping to build those problem-solving skills, those interpersonal skills. Makes a huge difference. And then finally, the presenter's the person, as I mentioned, that I'll ask to go up to the board or like gathers equipment and materials for the team. So all in all, I think it was a really great activity. Really, the next step after completing this team activity with the POGIL is going on and having the students actually design their own half cells and trying to figure out what the cell potential is. So I am super excited for that. That is going to be happening next week, as well as some other fun things, which I will share with you next week. So I am very excited. I'm going to get out of here. It's about 4 o'clock. It's a 3-day weekend. I hope you have some time to hang and enjoy with your family like I do. But thank you so much for watching, and I will check in with you next week. Thanks so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you found the information helpful as you teach science to your students. I really don't want to lose touch, so please make sure that you hit both like and subscribe so you get notifications every time I post a new video, and I'll catch you later.